It's like a little bit of, it's like a point going into and going dropping down way into a point, into a bedding area, excuse me. But I have huge rubs and scrapes in front of me. So I came in here and I kind of picked out on the map what I was looking for. And goddamn man, if there wasn't rubs and scrapes and big ones in here, where I was pointing at, and I walked through. I kind of screwed up because I walked to the south or to the east. I walked in first, and I kind of walked through this little swampy area and spooked a bunch of deer out of a little bedding area up there. But then I came back up in the Oaks and probably walked a quarter mile up the ditch and found another one, and then basically I'm set up right outside the bedding on really hot sign, man. Had my saddle and rig on my back, walked the ditch, then came back inside, walked the inside of the ditch, and I'm set up. We'll see what happens, man. I'll show you a big rub. Cedar right there, store up. It's real high too. There's another big rub on that side where he was nicking it this morning. It's really fresh, so see what happens there. I expect a deer. I expect the deer come from this way. I really expect them coming from this way. There's a ditch down in there, but there's real thick bedding along the corner of the ditch, so I expect them to come from that way, so we'll see. They can actually probably come from all over in here, but I thought I already heard a deer while I was setting up coming out of there and doing something in there because there's oaks all over. A couple oak trees, a big giant oak tree up there, a monster one up that way, so here we go, man. Sit tight. I'm up on this terrain point up in the woods, and then it goes down into a deep ditch. But before the ditch, it's an elevation point where I'm in like a little bit of a bowl, and then it drops way off into a swamp, and then it goes all the way to the ditch. So there's a lot of bedding in there. So there's some good sign in here, good fresh sign. So we'll see what happens. I'll pan the camera around and show you what's going on. That's the way out. I came in, I walked this topographical line and comes right down in here, and it forms a point, comes through here, and you can actually, if you look really hard, you can actually see the transition where the hollies, see how thick the hollies are right here, and the pines are all right there, and you can actually see it turn from pine needles to leaves, and there's a whole transition line going down in that way all the way out. And I walked the transition line, found this little spot here, and this goes out to a point. This little transition line goes out to a point, drops off. This drops off over here, drops all the way off and all the way around to the ditch, and there's really good bedding in there. So there's big rubs all through here. And there's big rubs. I sat here about probably 75, 80 yards the other night over in there, and we didn't see nothing. So I'm stacking a few hunts in here and see what happens. If it don't happen tonight, I'll move that way even more and try to get closer inside that point into that bedding and see what happens. 3 sits, don't see nothing after that, I'm out of here. If you hear a lot of noise, man, it is blowing probably 25, 30 mile an hour, man. It is really blowing. I'm getting tossed around in this tree, this little white oak here. And I got the saddle out. I'm really trying to give this saddle a really good chance. I'm trying some setups. Not really using my steps. I'm using a platform. And I'm using a tree hopper steps. I got 2 more coming in the mail. So that should help a lot. So if you can see the tree hopper steps, I got 3 of them right now. I have 5, and I'll probably end up just going with 5 tree hopper steps eventually. We'll see. So this was a tough couple sits, man, and you know, man, the sign was there. The wind was perfect. Everything was good. I did my homework in there, and I don't know, man. I came out that night and I thought, man, something's not right. I sat there on hot sign 2 nights, and I should have seen deer, man. Everything was good. I know it happens, but like, I had this gut feeling of, what am I missing? I'm missing something here. Something's wrong, and that's when I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go check this out. I gotta go scout this quick. I gotta scout that transition. I'm probably not gonna sit there again. I'm not even gonna go throw a third sit at it. So I'm gonna go scout it. Well, I found out what happened. Hold tight, you'll see. As you can see, my gut feeling was right. I knew something wasn't right going into here after sitting here twice on really, really fresh sign and good sign. And I went back the next morning and scouted it and found all this mess. This gentleman has this most likely area screwed up for the rest of the year. He's trimmed trees as big as my leg, and just, it's a mess. But in short, guys, be sure you scout thoroughly. Without tearing your whole area up, but make sure there's you know not other people like this that are going to screw your area up. And I got 2 sits that were, I don't want to say a waste of time. I did learn something because I like to try to learn something from every sit. But this was a valuable lesson learned. Hunt this early and get out. So that said, guys, thanks for your support. Just want to do this little video on how public can be. I love my public land. It's awesome. The state of Delaware has some great public opportunities. You just got to get into them pockets where nobody else is. Unfortunately, this pocket had me and another guy. So this guy went kind of nuts. But thanks for your support. And make sure you subscribe and like to the Bucksike.